Hey, what's going on guys, Gokuzemi here. I'm coming at you with another deck profile for a deck I really love, Salamangreat. I was getting a little bored of playing the same deck every week at locals, so I decided to switch things up and try my own variant of Salamangreat. I don't think anyone else is playing it like I am right now, and objectively this may not be the best version, but I think it is my favorite version right now, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think it's a very solid choice for this format, and you can play a lot of different cards in it since it has a lot of different flex spots. Plus, all things considered, this deck is really just the cost of an access code talker and whatever hand traps you want to play in it. So it's fairly affordable. For the monsters, I'm going to start off with the Salamangreats. We have 3 Salamangreat Foxy, 3 Salamangreat Spinny, 2 Salamangreat Jack Jaguar, 1 Salamangreat Gazelle, and the 1 Salamangreat Falco. Objectively, I feel like this is the best ratio for the deck right now, and you really don't want to cut anything from this. All of these are amazing extenders in their own right, and they all serve a different function in the deck. Also, I'm running a bit of a weird engine in this deck. I'm running 3 Flame Buffalo, that's standard obviously, but I'm also running 2 Code Generator and 2 Micro Coder. Buffalo is an incredible card that just lets you discard a Cybers to draw 2 when it's sent to the grave. You can chain block this with your Bailings, so if they don't have a set call by the grave, you should always be resolving that. It's a free pot of greed basically, and it lets you put your extenders in the grave. It's an excellent card. But we also have the Code Talker cards. I love Code Talker to death, and I really think it's a cool choice for this format. However, I just don't really want to play it as much right now. I'm getting a little bored of it. But Code Talker main deck monsters work in any Cybers themed deck as long as you play the required extra deck cards. So if you don't know what the Code Talker main deck monsters do, basically if a Cybers monster on field would be used as link material for a Code Talker monster, you can use these cards in hand as well. Plus, if they're used for link material for a Code Talker monster, they get additional effects if they were used in the hand or field. Code Generator, when it's used in the hand, lets you Foolish Burial any Cybers monster with 1200 or less attack. So basically, Code Generator lets you Foolish Burial any Salamangreat except for Gazelle or Jack Jaguar. Microcoder, when it's used in hand as link material for a Code Talker monster, allows you to add a Signet spell/trap. This is good because you're always going to be running 3 Signet Mining, but there's a Code Talker Omni-Negate called Signet Conflict, and basically it just strengthens your end board. You just get another Omni-Negate, and that's pretty damn good if you can't go Salad full combo. For the hand traps, I only play 3 Ash Blossom and 3 Droll and Lockbird. Ash is a very timeless card, I don't really need to explain it. However, I'm main decking Droll because when I was deck building, I made the decision to make this hard counter Despia. That being said, I don't think Droll is the best choice here. I wanted to go for something like DD Crow. It could really shut off a lot of things like Albion or Branded in Red, but sadly I couldn't find my third DD Crow, so I felt like Droll and Lockbird was the next best thing, since that deck relies on adding cards from deck to hand. Plus, Droll really shuts down Fluwanderees if they don't have D-Shifter. For the spells, I play Freshly at 3 Salamangreat Circle, 3 Signet Mining, 2 Cosmic Cyclone, 1 Change of Heart, 1 Will of the Salamangreat, and 1 Sanctuary. All of this is pretty standard. The only thing that I really need to talk about is Change of Heart. Recently just came back off the Forbidden and Limited list at 1, and boy, it should not have. This card has stolen me so many games. I remember one of my matches, I had my Flame Buffalo draw, and I drew into Circle and Change of Heart, which going second is probably the most broken draws you can get off of Flame Buffalo. So yeah, I think this card should just be banned again. It should not have come back. For the traps, one of my options to hard counter Branded Despia was to play 3 Dimensional Barrier in the main to call Fusion. This is really good right now because one of the best decks is Branded Despia, of course, but the other best deck right now, in my opinion, is Tenyi Sword Soul. Neither of those decks can really do anything if you lock them out of their respective extra deck function. But I also play 1 Salamangreat Rage, 1 Salamangreat Roar, and the 1 Signet Conflict I talked about. A lot of decks like ABC Therion are able to do something like that, plus Scythelock, so I felt like being able to end on 2 Omni-Negates plus maybe a Floodgate was pretty standard. For the extra deck, I'm playing a bit of a weird ratio, but for the Salamangreat cards in here, I'm playing 3 Balinks, 3 Sunlight Wolf, and the 1 Mirage Stalio. I'm not playing Heat Leo. I don't think the card's good enough to justify its inclusion, especially when I need room for Code Talker cards. That being said, I wouldn't recommend playing more than 1 Mirage Stalio, you only need the 1, and if you really need more than 1 copy, you're always able to recycle it with Jack Jaguar. But moving on to the Code Talker engine, I'm playing 1 Code Talker, 1 Decode Talker Heat Soul, 2 Transcode Talker, and the 1 Axis Code Talker. For the rest of the extra deck, I'm playing 1 Lingarebo, 1 Splash Mage, and 1 Update Jammer for the OTKs. My side deck for this event was really weird, mostly because I was scrambling very last minute to get this deck list together. So for the side deck, I'm playing 3 Ghost Spell, 2 Nibiru, 2 Crossout, 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance, 3 Gozen Match, and 2 Solemn Strike. Honestly, I never sided in the crossouts, and I barely ever sided in the strikes. I just needed things to fill up this extra deck with options if I really needed them. But that about wraps up this deck profile. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and comment. Let me know what changes you would make to the deck profile, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!